everybody. So we're going to talk about the Muslim Brotherhood today. I know everybody has a serious question like, who are all these Muslims? Who are all these Muslims who's trying to kill people and everything like that? Though these are like, I'm trying to upload the photo on my phone. This was created by a person years ago, and this is his picture right here that I'm going to show up. This guy, his name is Hassan al-Bana. He created the Muslim Brotherhood. He was an Egyptian scholar who became very famous by launching education things related to the Muslim Brotherhood, and then there were leaders and scholars who joined him in this term. So throughout the years, I'm gonna be showing a documentary, a live walkthrough. How did that become possible? Because throughout the years, other Muslims have helped Jews during the Holocaust. They have helped during the Bosnia incident. Now, this is the shit scholars don't like to bring up, but it's history. It's not going to lie to you. It's there. Same for that. So let's do a little bit walkthrough. How did this happen? Stay tuned, y'all. Let's dig in.
The Muslim Brotherhood. It usually brings to mind images of Egypt's deposed leader Mohammed Morsi, but members of the group have been imprisoned and suppressed in countries across the Middle East for decades. Its relationship with Saudi Arabia in particular is especially interesting. Though the Brotherhood has taken a stance against monarchies and military dictatorships, initially the group and Saudi Arabia were on friendly terms. According to the Washington Institute, between the 1950s and 70s, the two sides came together mainly on the Palestinian issue. Saudi Arabia had also accommodated thousands of Brotherhood activists facing imprisonment and repression in Egypt, Syria, and elsewhere, and it soon gained influence in the country. The Saudis recruited thousands of Egyptian teachers, many of whom were Brotherhood aligned, into their own public schools. The Portal, an independent research organization, says that for the Egyptians, it was a way to flee a repressive government, and for the kingdom, these were just teachers giving Saudi youth a formal education. But when the group tried to organize a branch in the country in the 1960s, the Saudis refused to give them a platform to use religion for political purposes. King Faisal explained to the group that Saudis were already Muslims and didn't need a group to spread religious ideology. But it was a couple of decades later that relations actually began to sour between the two sides. But more on that later. The Brotherhood was founded in Egypt by Hassan al-Banna in 1928 as a response to British colonialism. It was an attempt to preserve traditional customs and values in the face of westernization. The group started as a place for youth to learn about their religion and culture.
I already said
that. In the 1930s, adults also joined the group, and it became more of a fraternal organization. But at the time, no one knew much about the Muslim Brotherhood outside of Egypt, and it found few followers among the Egyptian elite. In 1948, it called on its members to resist Israeli aggression against the Palestinians, and in the 50s and 60s, it supported the Algerian war against the French. Splinter groups formed in other countries, including in Jordan, Bahrain, Kuwait, Libya, and Morocco. In the 1980s, the Syrian branch was brutally suppressed in what became known as the Hama massacre. And during the First Intifada, the group gave birth to Hamas in Palestine. The Muslim Brotherhood has ideologies that overlap with Saudi society, while still maintaining distinct characteristics. The Saudis mostly follow a more literal and puritanical interpretation of Islam, generally characterized as Wahhabi or Salafi ideologies, while the Brotherhood promotes what they claim to be more progressive interpretations that try to contextualize the text to contemporary times. By 1990, the Muslim Brotherhood diverged with Riyadh on the first Gulf War in Iraq, and later the second Gulf War of 2003. The Brotherhood openly criticized U.S. military presence in the kingdom. Authorities crushed the campaign of dissent, and in 2002, the Interior Minister called the Brotherhood the source of all evils in the kingdom. Ever since, Riyadh has done its best to remove the once accepted influence of the Brotherhood in its institutions. Last September, the Minister of Education said the country's school books were free of Muslim Brotherhood contamination. But the rivalry goes well beyond the classroom. The Saudis increasingly view the Brotherhood as a threat to their influence in the region, especially after the Arab Spring, where the Brotherhood gained strong electoral gains in Egypt and Tunisia. Saudi Arabia and the UAE bankrolled the 2013 coup against the first democratically elected president and Muslim Brotherhood leader, Mohammed Morsi, in Egypt. A Saudi-led bloc of the UAE, Bahrain, and Egypt made the group a featured component of the 2017 Gulf crisis with Qatar. calling on Doha to designate the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization.
Qatar didn't
Saudi
listen.
has even pushed the U.S. to call the group a terrorist organization. But former Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said in 2017 that doing so would complicate U.S. diplomacy, saying there are 5 million members across the Middle East, including many holding government positions. The Saudis and their allies have effectively managed to choke the Muslim Brotherhood out of public life in the region. But for how much longer will they be able to suppress other opposition voices?
There you have it. Many surprises in the Arab world. It started like as if everybody's together, but everything has a result. And some of the countries have pushed Qatar throughout the years that, hey, mark the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization. But Qatar, we all know where Qatar stands today. And it didn't listen. It supports Hamas because in the end, these leaders, throughout the years when I mentioned that people need to study like Douglas Murray, Musab Hassan Yusuf, you need to read. Who was Russia? Russia was not a Muslim land. Russia came in to join the Muslim Brotherhood. Who was South Africa? South Africa also came into the lead to join in business. These were not Muslim territories, nobody, or Arab leaders. This is all about millions and millions of dollars, and this agency were leaders. They're not a group of magicians. They were leaders. Leaders who wanted to be in power in everything, and they wanted to use religion as a weapon, and that's what Saudi Arabia stated in the documentary, that we're Muslims. We don't need it. We don't need it. And that's pretty much happened. And till next time, guys, I'm going to show you more. Please subscribe and see some of my communities. Till then, take care, y'all.